Okay, so now we're on book 2. And like I said, if you didn't see my first video, because this is book 2, if you didn't see my first video, I need to do that because this is a 5-star series for me. And I just can't get enough of it. So in book 1, it ended with Cade putting Stacy on a private plane. And now he really is stuck with the police, like the main of the woman of head of the police station or whatever, the police force bullshit, okay? Because she's like underground and all these people, and she's like a bad bitch. And her husband are sick as fuck. So now Cade, she's like, hell no, now you can't do shit, and goes to another country with him where he gets tortured even more, beat even more. She put his dad now in solitary confinement because of his actions. And she's like, if you want him out of solitary confinement and you don't want anything happening to your family, basically, you have to marry my daughter. And he's like, fuck no, I'm not marrying your daughter, okay? Well, in the meantime, Stacy, she's stuck with her damn stepbrother. And of course, it's like worse than it ever has been. Well, then they go to this bar, okay? They go to this bar, which is like you know what kind of bar I'm talking about. And so the same guys are there that Chris had, shit happened to her, okay? And so they're like, I'll pay you X amount for blah, 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 blah. So Chris, of course, gives in. And he's a psychopath, and he's obsessed. So her stepbrother, don't forget, is obsessed with her. Thinks that he owns her, controls her, whatever. So while she's in the room with them, she's drugged once again, and then they have her on a pole dancing. And so they're like, well, what song do you want? So she puts on the song that's literally the song between her and Cade because she saw Cade at the bar, okay? So Cade hears it, and he's like, what the fuck? And keep in mind, at this point, like, he's all fucked up too. Well, his right-hand man is like, yeah, it's her, but you can't go to her, and blah, 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 and kind of updates him. And so, anyway, so she has to go to a room with all these guys, okay? And Chris gives her a blade. So when Cade and his right-hand man get to the room, she had already got rid of the guys. They're gone, see ya. She's in shock. And so Cade tells his right-hand man, like, you got to take her out of here. Take her to my mom's house. Well, she'll be safe, blah, blah, blah. And so, like, they're now Cade's, like, finding out, like, the real story and about Chris. And then they're like, find Chris because he's a dead man, blah, 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 blah. Well, what happens is, the way that this book ends is she ends up with Chris again, and they make a deal. Okay, so she makes a deal or whatever, and she now is changing her identity and all this shit. Okay, so she's changing her identity. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. So she's changing her identity. She's moving to America. Well, the psycho bitch finds out. They find her. Chris also finds her because he had hacked into the bitch's system. So Chris goes to the house, which is his right man, Cade's right-hand man's house. And Chris sees her, and he's like, hell no, we got to get you the fuck up out of here. She's found you, and they're coming to, they're coming after you. They're coming to kill you, whatever. So he gets her out of there, whatever. Well, then he makes a deal with the bitch. And so she's, for all of her all the files that he has on her to expose her, right? So she's like, okay, but I want Stacy to show up, and she's going to have the hard drive, blah, 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 blah. So Stacy's walking into the fucking building. He's not allowed to go in there, of course. And she's like, this is a bad idea. And so Cade's sister is there, and she's like, what are you doing here? And then she's like, well, her little boyfriend, who's a Russian mafia guy, wanted her there. And she's like, oh my God, it's a setup, whatever, whatever. Anyways, they go into the room, find out they're selling them. So they have no choice. It's a complete setup. Now they get sold for SEX. And they have to go down into like a 5-day holding room because it's like a new buyer or some shit. So the way that the book ends is she's like, can't even believe it, can't do anything. She's now stuck in this room, and she's just been sold. Oh, and Cade's dad broke out of prison. Yep, he sure did. Okay, now we go on to book 3. If you read this book, comment below and let me know. I know this video is long, so if you stayed this long, I appreciate it.